For CAT and other MBA entrance exams? Are you preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance exams? BYJU'S Exam Prep, CAT and MBA, your one-stop solution for all MBA exams related questions. Watch unique strategies to ace CAT, XAT, SNAP, IIFT, TISNET, CMAT and other important MBA entrance exams. Tips and tricks to boost score, subject-wise and chapter-wise sessions, previous year's questions, exam-related update and notifications, live exam analysis and actual questions discussion. So why wait? Subscribe to BYJU'S Exam Prep, CAT and MBA YouTube channel and press the bell icon to stay updated.
Good afternoon, all of you. Hi, Sanil. Same here. Hello, Ashish. Good noon. Hi, Prem. Hello, Roosters. Good noon, Maheshwari, Bharti. Okay, so let's begin with our session for today, right? This is our ongoing grammar capsule, right? In the last session, we talked about nouns. Today, we'll talk about pronouns, right? Hello, Shailesh. Good noon. So nouns, I hope you know by now, right? We discussed the concept in detail last time. What are the types of nouns? What are the types relevant for you, right? So let's begin our discussion on what pronouns are. Yes, you have to tell me first before I launch into questions, before I explain the concept to you. Good afternoon, Prats. Good afternoon, Pope. Okay, we have the Pope with us. Right. So tell me, what are pronouns? Yes. What do you understand by the term? You can give me examples also. Just asking for a layperson definition. I'm not asking for a textbook definition here. Tell me, tell me. We use them instead of nouns. Why? Because if we kept using nouns, if we kept repeating nouns, our life would become very tedious. Our language would become very tedious, right? So if I say, okay, Nikita started the session, Nikita is now teaching the students, Nikita is dealing with pronouns today, Nikita plans to cover the concept as well as the questions. Imagine how boring it sounds, right? So that's why we need something to replace Nikita when I have to talk about her again and again, right? And that is why we need pronouns. So you are absolutely right. Pro means ahead, okay, or for. So they are used in a way for nouns, right? In the place of nouns. Okay, and usually they come after the nouns, usually, not necessarily. Okay, so I've got some examples also. He, she, it, they, them. Absolutely correct, Ashish. These are all examples of personal pronouns, right? Okay, good noon, Neenar. Correct, Sanil, Prem, Raj. Describes the noun, Neenar, that is an adjective. Okay, it does not describe a noun, it is used in place of a noun. Good afternoon, sweetie. Correct, correct, Prats. Okay, so now that we know this, there are various types of pronouns. Okay, there is no, not just one type, there are many types of pronouns, right? So the idea is to deal with such pronoun types today. Okay, so one by one through questions, I'll talk to you about various pronoun types. Okay, so I've tried to cover various types today. Okay, and the idea has been that I cover a variety of question types also. So it's not just fill in the blanks. We have error spotting questions, we have identified the incorrect sentence questions. Okay, so that will be the effort today. Let's begin. Right, so this is our first question for the day. Odd sentence out, Shailesh. Okay. So I have taken a couple of sessions on odd sentence out in the past, but yes, noted. I will take one more session. Okay. So in our next parajumble session, I'll focus on odd sentence out. Okay. Noted. All right. So question 1 here. Tell me, what should be the answer? Yes. What should be the answer for question 1? Okay, Nina says B. Ashish says C. Prem C. Anuja C. All right. Others? Let's see what you say. So I've got my first, 6, 7 responses. Okay. And yes, now Nina also says it's C. So almost all of you are saying C. I think all of you who've answered till now say C. Rooster says B. No, it's not C, it's B. That's what Rooster says. All right. Sweetie says C. So let's see what the answer is. I showed Dash the array of dishes on the table. Okay, array, as it's a line of dishes on the table, right? The series of dishes on the table, and told Dash to help Dash. Okay, so I showed whom? I would usually show it to a person, right? I would not show it to, let's say, a non-living thing, right? So I showed Dash. Okay, so just a second. My pen tab. Let me just attach it once again. Okay, so the point that I'm trying to make here is that we show something to a living being. So the answer cannot be that in any circumstance, isn't it? It cannot be, sorry, it in any circumstance. Okay, so it's either them, they, themselves, her, etc. Right? So let's see out of these. Now, when do I use themselves? When do I use themselves? Themselves is a special pronoun, right? It's called a reflexive pronoun. What is it called? A reflexive pronoun. So we use themselves when, let's say, I dash, let's not take I, let's take they, because we're talking specifically about themselves. They dash, uh, they love. Okay, dash. Now, let's say you know this family. Okay, this family has members who are just all about themselves. They completely love themselves, right? So you say they love themselves. See, even when explaining it to you, I have used themselves. You would never say they love them. That is incorrect. So when the same person is the subject, when the same person is the subject and the same person is the object, that is when we use the selves or the self type of pronoun, which is called a reflexive pronoun. Why reflexive? Because here the object of the verb is in a way a reflection of the subject. Same ही लोग है ना, it's like a mirror image, right? So they love themselves. So here on the other hand, I showed dash. So I is the subject. Now the same person is not the object, right? So themselves goes out of the window. A goes out of the window. Okay. Then now between C and D, I showed them or I showed they. So now this is the classic concept of subject and object. If the concept of subject and object is clear to you, this should not pose a problem, right? I need an object here, isn't it? Because the subject is already present, the subject of the verb. They, on the other hand, is used when I need a subject. I just demonstrated it to you. Okay, so they cannot come here. I showed them. Okay, okay. Why not her though? Her can also come. I showed her the array of the array of dishes on the table and told. Then you told her, right? So then I should have written her here. In case this is her, this should also be her. But that is not the case with option E. So option E is also eliminated. Correct. Our answer is C. I showed them the array of dishes on the table and told them. Okay, and told them again. I told them, right? So know themselves here as well. I told them to help themselves. Now, why themselves here? Because they are helping themselves. They are helping themselves. Okay, they are helping themselves. That is why I need a reflexive pronoun here. I hope this is clear to everybody, right? So, uh, we will not use some pronouns here. First of all, I need a pronoun for a living being. Okay. Now, some of you must be thinking, but how is it? Is it only used for non-living things? No, not necessarily. Primarily, yes, it is used for non-living things, but it is also used for, there's a question also on it later on. It is also used for children, usually babies, okay, for a child or a baby, okay, and it is sometimes, in fact, a lot of times it is used for animals also, right? For our pets, we usually don't use it because we think of them as persons rather than animals. So for our pets, we tend to use he or she, but generally for an animal, you should use it. Okay, unless you want to personify the animal, unless you want to show that he or she is a person, unless let's say it's a character in the Jungle Book where he or she is the main character, you've personified the thing, or you've personified the animal, then you can use he or she. Okay, so anyway, it does not fit here, right? Because in that case, this should also have been it in case you're showing it to a baby. Okay. Uh, Themselves, you've now understood one use of themselves is as a reflexive pronoun. I will also talk to you about an emphatic pronoun, but later on, right? Them, objective pronouns. I do not need the subjective pronoun here. There is nothing like themselves. This is an incorrect word, right? And her, him, inconsistent here. I needed the same pronoun in both the blanks. Okay. It is also used for baby. It is also used for the third gender. Uh, Ideally we shouldn't use it for the third gender. Okay, we should, in fact, in order to be gender neutral, that's why you must have seen, even when you make your Instagram profile or Facebook profile, they refer to you as, I mean, they refer to someone else also as they, not him or her, right? So they is a gender neutral pronoun. We shouldn't really use it for the third gender because that sort of uh, relegates them to the position of being non-living things. We use it for children because we don't want to, again, unless the gender is specified, we don't know the gender of a baby. A baby could be a girl or a boy, or any other gender for that matter, right? So that's why we use it for babies. For animals, because probably the thinking, the from which it stems is that human beings are different from animals, therefore they should have a different status than animals, and that is why we use it for them, right? For the third gender, we shouldn't, right? Okay, now coming to question 2. So here we talk, in our previous question we talked about personal pronouns, the nouns that we used to refer to persons, right? Let's see what this question brings. Tell me if any part here has an error, or if there's no error, then E would be the answer. Okay. Let's see what you say. Okay, okay. B, some of you are saying. So, Pope, I am telling that for pets, people tend to use he or she, and it is accepted. For pets, it's actually, it's in fact a little rude if you, if, in fact, let's say if someone's pet is going somewhere, and I mean, if somebody is going somewhere with their pet, and you ask how is it doing, right? It's considered rude. So, how is he or she doing is pretty acceptable for pets. However, for wild animals, talking about animals in general, we use it, and I understand that yes, that is also a little discriminatory, but then you don't know the gender, right, of a wild animal. If you see a deer going, do you know whether that deer is he or she? From a distance, you won't know that, right? So that's why, perhaps. Okay, so D, A, Reflexive pronoun, absolutely correct. We needed a reflexive pronoun here. D is the answer. She could not afford a lawyer, so she decided to represent herself in the court. She decided to represent herself. So she is the one who is representing and she is the one who is being represented, right? Reflexive pronoun. Okay. She decided, she decided to represent. Now, who is representing? Who is the one doing the representing? She. Who is being represented? She again, right? So she decided to represent herself. Okay. So that is what I needed here. Hope this is clear to everybody. D Delhi, correct. Okay. Question 3. We have to fill in the blanks with the appropriate word. Okay. B, A, B. All right. A. Okay. Confused between A and B, yes? So the puppy was the best gift my parents gave. So my parents gave it to my brother and dash. Right. So myself cannot come. Very happy that nobody's said C so far. Right. Good. Now between A and B, this is something that you have to learn and it's a very important concept. Whenever you are confused, first of all, I'll tell you a hack. Whenever you are confused and when you have this and there's some other noun or pronoun given, right? So whenever there are multiple pronouns or whenever there's a noun and pronoun, in that case just separate the two ideas. So my parents gave the puppy to my brother, my parents gave it to me. This is what you would say, no? My parents gave it to my brother, my parents gave it to, would you say I? No, right? My parents gave it to me. So if in such a simple sentence you would say me, then why I here? Why I here? There is no rationale of putting I here. Just break it into two thoughts, into two ideas. And yes, it should be me. Okay. Now, why me? Because, see this. Here, my parents is the subject. My parents is the subject, right? Gave is the verb. It is the, because what is it that they gave? It, the puppy. It is the object. The puppy is the object here. To is a preposition. To is a preposition. Right. Me. Me here is the object of the preposition. Object of the preposition. Long story short, it is in the nature of an object. And I is a subject pronoun. Now you must be thinking object of the preposition kya hota hai? See, objects can be of two types. Object of the verb. So here it is the object of the verb gave. Object of the verb gave. Prepositions also have an object. Okay, prepositions are never used in isolation. They have an object attached to them. For instance, the cat sat under the tree. So under what? The tree. The tree here is the object of the preposition under. Okay, on the table is the object of the preposition on. On it is the object of the preposition on. To me is the object of the preposition to, and therefore it has to be in the objective case. आप उसको subjective case में नहीं रख सकते हो. Subjective case is I. So me is the answer here. Right? So now you know the simple hack to actually attempt these questions, okay? Just break them into two parts whenever you have a noun plus a pronoun or whenever you have multiple pronouns attached with and, right? Just break them into simpler sentences. And now you know the concept also. What is the subject of a verb? What is the object of a verb? What is the object of a preposition? I is a subject or subjective pronoun, whichever way you want to call it, and me is an objective pronoun, right? Okay, correct, Prem. Now coming to question 4 here. We have discussed something like this earlier. Some of you might know what the answer is. I think we discussed it in our CMAT classes in case some of you attended those. Okay, all right. Okay, A, B, C. Okay, A, C, C again. All right. So A, B, and C, that's what I'm getting. Nobody thinks D and nobody thinks E. All right. First of all, what is the difference between D and E? Sorry, C and E. C means that both are individually correct. Individually, both are correct. E means that individually, they are probably not correct. But in case one is wrong, then B is correct. In case B is wrong, then A is correct. That is either or. Right? So, here, we just talked about the concept of subject pronoun, object pronoun. Right? I told you I is the subject, me is the object. Now let's apply this concept to comparisons, because here a comparison is being made. No, yes, you love my brother more than me, right? So now here, uh, let's have a look. Let's make a simple comparison, right? Something that I always use as an example because it's very simple. That's what I would say. She's taller than I or me, right? In fact, let me be more clear. She's taller than me or she's taller than I am. Which is correct? Correct, Prem Prats. You're absolutely right. The answer is C. I want you to understand why. So look at this example here. She's taller than me. She's taller than I am. Which is correct? You're saying the first one. Okay, let's call it A. Let's call this B. So, okay. Anuja says I. Shailesh says me. Ashish says both. So, actually here, the colloquial or informal usage versus what is there in standard British English, that differs. See, when in conversations, I have usually not seen people say she's taller than I am. Right? Because in conversations, we like to keep things simple. People generally don't use whom in conversations at all because it's tedious to decide when to use who, when to use whom. Right? So that's why we say, who am I talking to? Ideally, I should say, whom am I talking to? But we say, who am I talking to? Because we want to keep things simple. Right? So, informally, this is fine. But standard British English says that it should be she is taller than I am. She is taller than I am. It also says that sometimes this am can be skipped. She is taller than I am, that is correct. And sometimes this am can be skipped. What is the logic behind it? It's very logical. It's not like they've made a random rule. They say that basically this sentence is a combination of two thoughts. She is tall. That must be the first thought that came to your mind. Then the next thought must be I am tall. Okay. Then you made a comparison. Okay. She is tall. I am also tall. But she is taller than I am. She is taller than I am. So that is what you should retain in your comparison. Okay. So now again there is a comparison that is here. So definite. Now you must be thinking, okay, definitely B is correct. Yes, because that has an I. Am can be skipped or whatever verb is there can be skipped. Right. B is correct, but A is also correct. In this case, in that case, only I is correct. Okay, because of the logic behind it. Now understand why both are correct, A and B. Let's see. In these sentences, why both are correct? Let's understand that. My daughter said, "You love my brother more than me." Why is this correct? Because here what your daughter is saying is different from what she is saying here. So you love my brother. Okay, so you love my brother and you love me also. Yes. But you love my brother more than you love me. You love my brother more than you love me. So this you love has been skipped. This you love has been skipped. Don't worry, it's just a temporary power outage. It will be back in just a few seconds. Right? Uh, so this you love has been skipped here. Okay? Because we skipped the repetition of the verb. The subject is already there. So this is correct. Now, my daughter said, "You love my brother." Okay, so you love my brother. I also love my brother. You love my brother. I also love my brother. But you love my brother more than I love my brother. More than I love my brother, or more than I love him. So again, this love him or love my brother has been skipped because it was already written here. So we've just skipped the repetition. So the meanings of these two sentences is very, very different. Okay, so I hope you've understood the general logical way of making comparisons. Yes, and also the fact that in these two sentences both are correct because both have different meanings. C is the answer here. Okay. So, good Dharmi, she is taller than I am is absolutely correct. In the second sentence, do is silent, more than I do. Correct, Sanil. Absolutely agree with you. Okay. Then, I am, I ends with more than I do. More than I do, Sonali. Okay. So, Rohit, both are correct. I hope now this makes sense to you. Okay. We will take more examples as we go ahead, right? Hope this is clear to you for now. Now, question 5. What do you say? Identify the part of the sentence that has an error. Okay. D, C, E, B. All right. E. Okay. No error. That's what I've been getting from quite a few of you. The civic body. Singular or plural? The civic body. Singular or plural? Tell me. So here the civic body is like a council, right? Let's say a municipal council. Council is a collective noun. Yes? Collective noun. And what did we learn about collective nouns? That usually they are singular. Usually they are singular. When the whole group is acting as a group, then it is singular. Only in the case of disagreements, only in the case of, let's say, disagreements or a focus on individual members are they plural. So can I use there here? I don't see any disagreement. I don't see any focus on the individual members, right? So it is D, that is erroneous. Good, good. The civic body is singular. Very good. Sonali, Om, Ashish. It's a collective noun. Okay. Collective nouns also, according to some grammar books, they are a type of common nouns. So in that sense, you are correct. Good. Those of you who said D. Now, I hope you're enjoying the session. Okay. We are learning new things, right? So in the first one, we talked about reflexive pronouns. We also talked about the use of it. We talked about they, them, subjective, objective pronouns, right? Now I told you that okay, let's talk about emphatic pronouns also. I told you no, we'll discuss emphatic pronouns. Now, the pronoun herself, let's say. So let me list all of them: myself, yourself, or if let's say there are many of you, then yourselves, right? Then herself, himself, themselves, because it's plural, right? So myself, yourself, herself, himself, themselves, itself. If I'm talking about a thing, a child, an animal, okay. So these are all, they can be used as reflexive pronouns. All of these, they can also be used as emphatic pronouns. The difference is just in the intent. Okay, so in reflexive, the intent is that the same person or thing is the subject and the same person or thing is the object. So I love myself. Yes, as everyone should. Now, in emphatic, the intent is different. So if I say the Prime Minister himself graced the occasion, the Prime Minister himself graced the occasion. Okay. So here I could have actually written this sentence as the Prime Minister graced the occasion. It's an absolutely complete idea. By adding himself here, I'm just emphasizing how such an important dignitary, how such an important person graced the occasion, right? So the Prime Minister himself graced the occasion. Khud aaye the, right? So this is when we are using this for emphasis. That's when it's referred to as an emphatic pronoun. Here it's not a reflexive pronoun. Okay, because here the subject is the Prime Minister, the verb is graced, and the object is the occasion. The being the article. Right? So I hope this is clear to you, the emphatic use of all of these pronouns that I have written here. Yes, oneself is also, it can function as both reflexive as well as emphatic. Emphatic, one should be, one would not do this oneself. Okay, one can do this all. Emphatic use, I'll have to think about it, but yes, reflexive use of oneself is there, right? Okay, so hope this is clear. Now, let's come to this question. We have some different types of pronouns here. Let's see what you say. It can be used as both. Oneself can be used as both. Reflexive also, emphatic also. Okay. C, E, D, C. Okay. All right. So I've got some D's also. Either of the managers. Okay. That tells me that making this option was a good thing, right? So my effort was to confuse you through D. E is the answer. So now option D. Let's look at all the options. In fact, why they are not the answers. I had to identify the incorrect sentence, right? The incorrect one. So read the instructions very carefully. Each, every, either, and neither. Each, every, either, and neither. What are they? They are indefinite pronouns. They are a type of pronouns we call indefinite. So far we have talked about personal pronouns. Reflexive pronoun is also a type of a personal pronoun only, right? Subjective, objective, possessive, reflexive. They are all types of personal pronouns. अब personal हमने finish कर दिया. Now the next category that we're talking about is an indefinite pronoun. Why they are called indefinite? Because when I say each, I'm not referring to someone specific, but I'm covering everybody. Same is the case with every. Either, koi sa bhi. Again, not referring to anyone definite. Neither, koi sa bhi nahi. Right? So that's why they're called indefinite pronouns. And these indefinite pronouns, this group, each, every, either, neither, and even one, they are always singular. They are always singular. Okay, remember this. So, neither of the books, neither is the subject here. Neither is good. Okay, don't get confused by this off phrase. Neither is good. कोई सी भी अच्छी नहीं है. That's the idea. Okay. Some of the work. Now, some is another category of indefinite pronouns. So these are always singular. But what about some? Some can be singular also, some can be plural also. Right? So, sanam pronouns. If some of you remember this, sanam pronouns. These are also another type of indefinite pronouns. This is just an acronym that various grammar books have created, right? So, some, any, none, all, more or most. Right? These are such pronouns that can be singular also or plural also. It depends on the context. What is the context? This off phrase. Now this off phrase is important. Earlier it wasn't. Right? So if I say some of the work is singular, and that's why this will be singular. But if I had said some of the students are not listening to me right now. Right? Some of the students is plural, that's why are. So it depends on what comes in the off phrase for these sanam pronouns. Okay? All right. Everyone is singular. Yes. Correct. Everyone is singular. Now, none of the students. See, none. yahin par hai none. None of the students. The context matters. The off phrase matters. Students is plural. That's why this should be plural. Correct again. So, these cannot be the answers because they are correct. D, either. This can be confusing for students. Either of the managers. But again, of the managers is not relevant here. Either reviews the progress. So let's say there are two managers. कोई सा भी आके review कर लेता है progress. So either reviews the progress. Okay, it's not necessary that Miss Rekha is going to come or Miss Rashmi is going to come. Okay, so either reviews the progress. So all of these are correct. Is the answer. Everyone is always singular. You're absolutely correct. Everyone is again an indefinite pronoun. So let me just make another bundle of indefinite pronouns. Everyone, someone, no one, anyone. Right? So no one, someone, anyone, everyone. These are always singular. Always singular. Instead of one, you can write buddy also. Buddy is relatively informal. Everybody. Right? And it also works for things. Everything, something, nothing, anything. They are always singular. Okay, so with this, we have covered your indefinite pronouns. Right? So, this should be has everyone taken, not there. No, not there. There is plural. His or her seats. Has everyone taken his or her seats? Okay. In informal English, again in spoken English, we use there with everyone, someone. People use there. I also use there in my spoken English because it's gender neutral and it's very tedious to say his or her again and again. But standard British English still does not accept this there. It's his or her. Okay. What if there is only one student? Then you would not say has everyone taken. And even see, everyone is singular. The bottom line is that everyone is singular, right? Now, if there is just one student, you would not say everyone, right? In that case, it does not make sense to use everyone. Usually, you would say it when you have some number of students. It's plural. right? But because you're referring to each of them one by one, every one, that is why it is singular. ठीक है? अच्छा, uh, there is only student. Are you talking about C? None of the students. Om, are you talking about C? None of the students? In that case, my answer would be different. Let me clarify it any which way, even if you're not asking it. Uh, some students have a query here कि अगर none है तो मतलब zero है. Then how are we putting it as plural? I think, see, I may be wrong here, but I think in mathematics also, zero has not really been assigned as singular or plural. When we have something in zero, right, we don't say that it is singular or it is plural, right? So here also with none, the same thing applies. The context matters, and if the context is plural, this is going to be plural. You will not think like this, agar zero hai to singular hi hoga. No, that thinking is incorrect. ठीक है? Okay, okay. I hope this makes sense to everybody. Right? We can proceed. Coming to question 7. Identify the correct sentence from the following. Ashish says D. Swagat E. We have to identify the correct one. Okay. E, alright. Okay. So I've got what, 6, 7 responses? That's it. What are the others doing? D, E, okay. Okay, so again, I think adding option E was a good choice on my part. Just patting my back. Right. So identify the correct sentence from the following. Now, my mother and me went to the mall. Again, apply that hack. Just separate the two ideas. My mother went to the mall. Would you say me went to the mall? No, you would say I went to the mall. This is incorrect. Okay, good. Nobody said A, I think. Right. B. The teacher scolded my friend and I. Apply that hack again. The teacher scolded my friend. The teacher scolded I or the teacher scolded me? The teacher scolded me. Object is needed. Let you and I do this together. Let you and I do this together. We say this, no, let us do it together. Let us do it together. What is us? We is the subject pronoun, na? We subject pronoun hai. Us to object pronoun hai. That means I need object pronouns here. Now for you, the object pronoun is you only. See, I love you, you love me, right? I love you, you is the object, you love me, you is the subject. So for you, you remains you even in the object case. But I changes to me, right? And I need the object here. So let you and me do this together. Let us do this together, right? So hope these are clear to you. Now, between D and E. It's so easy. Very good, Prats. Very good. Okay, a virtual toffee to you, right? Because this is a very common error that I see a lot of people making. Okay, D says my brother and I decided to leave. So break it again. My brother decided to leave. I decided to leave. You will never say me decided to leave. So I decided to leave is fine. That means this is our answer. D is our answer. Why not E? This is, now I understand there is one, but look at what I'm saying. This is one of my favorite songs. That means I have some favorite songs. This is one of them. यही बोलोगे ना, this is one of them. You will not say this is one of it. One of them, right? Plural. So you need plural here also. This is one of my favorite songs. Okay, he is one of my best friends. Right? This is a very common error. This one has to be plural here because you are saying, okay, I have a pool. उसमें से एक. ठीक है? Let is always followed by an objective pronoun. Correct, Sonali? Correct. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. D is the answer here. Right? Okay. Question 8. Let's see. And after answering question 8, I am writing something is to answer that. Answer 8 first. Now this is option A. I think A is not written here. This is option A. Okay. All right. C, E. Okay. So basically you want to say they, them, 1 minute. Acha, acha, for the next one you start with answering. Okay, okay, okay. A lot of you are saying E, very happy to see that. So E is the answer here. Now why E? Because you wanted to say it is a great decision. It is, right? The contraction of it is it apostrophe S. Okay, it apostrophe S. So either C or E. Now this is a great decision to adopt a dog. See, if I'm saying this is a great decision, then I'm explaining it. No, in that case you should put a colon here or you should put a dash here. This is a great decision. What? To adopt a dog, right? So this is a great decision to adopt a dog without any punctuation mark here is incorrect. Okay. So here this is eliminated. It is what is required. Okay. Now which has lost uski hind legs, right? Possessive pronoun. I need a possessive pronoun here. The legs belong to the dog only, no? So I need a possessive pronoun here. I don't need it is. It is hind legs I don't need. It is hind legs. Eliminated. So the answer has to be E. Through elimination itself I can realize that. It is a great decision to adopt a dog which has lost its hind legs. ITS for possessive pronouns in personal possessive pronouns. कौन से होते हैं personal possessive pronouns? Let me write this down. You should also note this down so that there is never any query regarding this. My or mine, right? Then this would be our or ours in plural, right? Then your or yours, second person. His or his remains his. Her or hers, their or theirs, right? And it's basically it does not have an objective case, but then it's, right? There is never any apostrophe in these. Remember this. कोई भी कभी भी यहाँ पे apostrophes नहीं लगाएगा when I'm talking about possessive personal pronouns, personal possessive pronouns. ठीक है? It's a sin to do so. Okay, so here also it is ITS and not IT apostrophe S. IT apostrophe S simply means it is, or in an informal sense it can mean it has. In an informal sense it can also mean it has, but it does not mean ITS. Okay. Okay. So I hope this is clear to everybody. And the answer is this. And we have used its here because we are talking about a dog in a general sense. A dog which has lost its legs. So they adopted a dog which had lost its legs. Okay. तो उन्होंने ऐसे dog को adopt किया जो अपनी legs, hind legs खो चुका था. Okay, and we use which for animals. We use which for animals. थोड़ा discrimination तो है animals के साथ. I agree. We don't even use who or whom. We use which for them. ठीक है? Uh, Hope this is clear. Any query you can ask me now. Do you run faster than them or they? Okay. So do you see you run fast? Again, if let's say there's any confusion, any iota of confusion, you run fast, they run fast. Do you run faster than they do? Do you run faster than they do? The do has been deleted. Okay. So you run fast, they run fast. So that's why it has to be they and not them. ठीक है? Clear? Ashish? Clear to you as well? The answer is E here. We'll use its for the animal, ITS. We'll use which for the animal, not who or whom, unless we are personifying the animal. And we will use they here and not them. Okay, so many concepts in one question. Okay, so here's a joke for you. Right, this is from last year actually. I came across this last year, so I used it in one of the slides that year. Ma'am, there's not, but it becomes important to add a punctuation mark if there would be this is. Sonali, in the case of this is, you cannot contract this is to, let's say, this apostrophe s. You cannot contract it anyway, right? If let's say this is, if I say this is a great decision, this is a great decision, then here I would add a colon. Here I would add a colon. Okay, here I would add a colon. So I hope that clarifies your query. ठीक है? So this is में punctuation mark नहीं है कोई भी. This is दो separate words हैं. ठीक है? All right. So when, let's say, you don't study pronouns well, when you don't study grammar well, blunders can happen, right? So this person says, "Where did you go? I was looking for you." So this other person has a baby in his or her hand, and there's a diaper here. I had to change my baby's diaper. Do you mind throwing it away for me? I had to change my baby's diaper. Do you mind throwing it away for me? What does this it refer to? You are studying pronouns, right? So you shouldn't be confused. This person, however, did not study pronouns well. So this person says, no, I don't mind. And look at what this person throws. Right? So here, yes, it's a dark meme. It's this page called Cyanide and Happiness. All their memes are pretty dark. It, right. So here, see very carefully. Look very carefully. This person actually was not wrong anywhere. This person was clear in his or her communication. Okay. When you say baby's diaper, babies is not used as a noun here. Diaper is the only noun here in baby's diaper. In baby's diaper, diaper is the noun. Pronouns can be used only for nouns, right? So it referred to the diaper, right? Babies was functioning as an adjective here. Kiska diaper? Baby ka diaper. I'm just describing the diaper further. Okay. So this is functioning as an adjective here. Baby's diaper. Okay. So I don't, if I say I appreciate my company's policy, I appreciate my company's policy. Okay. It is new. It is relatively new, let's say. Now here, it cannot refer to company. It refers to policy only because companies is acting as an adjective here. So what is relatively new? The policy. So this person was clear. This person unfortunately hadn't studied his or her pronouns well. ठीक है? Okay. All right then. Let's go to the next question. The second last question for the day. Let's see what you say. Let's see. Sonali, I think I've understood your query now. I will explain it. Okay. EC, all right. So we are confused between these two options. Yes? Okay. I can't understand. First of all, the reason why. The reason why. I know that there is a show called 13 Reasons Why. But the reason why is redundant. If you use why, the reason is already implicit in that. If you use the reason, why is already implicit there. So this is redundancy, saying the reason why. Okay, I can't understand the reason behind, let's say, my mother not liking my going to work, right? So I can't understand the reason why is redundant. So I can't understand why is enough. Now the question is, should it be my? It should not really be myself, because there's no need of a reflexive or emphatic pronoun here. So C and A, actually I expected you to get confused between A and C, right? Uh, Now, I can't understand why my mother doesn't like my going out to work is correct. My going out to work is correct. Let's see why. Why is this not correct? So, let's say there's a friend of yours who cries at the drop of a hat, right? So you say anything emotional and this person is going to cry. If anything bad happens to him or her, she cries, he cries. So, uh, I don't like, I don't like him crying or his crying. Now it's this habit of this person that you don't like, है ना, उसकी habit नहीं पसंद है, ऐसा तो नहीं है friend ही पसंद नहीं है. Yes, so I don't like his habit. I don't like his habit, and I have just named that habit here. I don't like his habit. I have just named that habit here. Similarly, I can't understand why my mother doesn't like my activity. This is the activity that I am doing. I am just naming that activity, going out to work. Going out to work is that activity. So I don't understand why my mother doesn't like my activity, not me activity. If you want to understand this strictly in terms of grammar rules, then the grammar rule says that before gerund, you should put a possessive pronoun. Okay. Now, gerund, these are gerunds here. Crying, going, these are gerunds. What is a gerund? Basically a verb plus ing acting as a noun. A verb plus ing acting as a noun. Cry, verb, ing, and it is acting as a noun here. I am naming the habit. Naming is a noun. Going out to work, naming the activity. So before such gerunds, verb plus ing acting as a noun, you have to use the possessive pronoun. My ही आएगा, his ही आएगा. ठीक है? So that's why C is our answer here. Okay. So Sonali asked a question. Her question was this, that when I say it is a great decision to adopt a dog, it is a great decision. Let's just take this part. It is a great decision to adopt a dog. I did not need any colon or any other punctuation mark here, right? But when I said this is a great decision, this is a great decision, I told you that I will need a colon here, and then I'll say to adopt a dog. Why is that? Why is that? See, pronouns, this is also a pronoun here. Okay, this is also a pronoun here. Pronouns refer to nouns, right? Pronouns refer to nouns. So usually हम noun पहले लिखते हैं, most of the cases में, और फिर pronoun लिखते हैं. But in this case, the decision, the actual decision is mentioned later on. It is mentioned later on, and the pronoun has been used earlier. The pronoun has been used earlier, and the actual decision is mentioned later on. So you have to clarify the fact that this is referring to ye wala decision, to adopt a dog. So this is a great decision. When you add a colon, now you tell your reader that okay, now I am going to name the decision. अब मैं बता रही हूँ कि क्या decision है. ठीक है. Otherwise, if I do not put this colon, this is a great decision to adopt a dog. उसका पता है क्या मीनिंग हो जाएगा कि डिसीजन आपने कुछ और लिया है, वो डिसीजन पहले आ गया. You have taken some decision. That decision has been mentioned earlier, and now I am saying, oh, this decision is actually a great decision for the purpose of adopting a dog. Let's say you bought a kennel. Okay, you bought a kennel. Oh, you bought a kennel. This is a great decision to adopt a dog. So buying a kennel is a great decision if you want to adopt a dog for the purpose of adopting a dog. So if I don't put that colon here, if I don't put that punctuation mark here, the entire sense of the sentence is going to change. Right? Good question, Sonali. Okay, I hope this is clear now. Now, the concept of gerund, absolutely. See this, gerunds. What are gerunds? A gerund is nothing. It's a special type of, it's called a verbal, क्योंकि ना ये verb है completely, ठीक है. तो ये verb, जब verbs की तरह act नहीं करते ना, तो हम उनको verbals बोलते हैं, ठीक है. So gerund is a type of verbal. So when the verb plus ing form acts as a noun, it is called a gerund. Okay. For example, swimming is my hobby. Swimming is my hobby. अब अगर देखा जाए, so swim is a verb. Okay, swim is a verb, and I have added ing to it. But is swimming acting as a verb here? Is it a verb? No, I am naming what I like. What is my hobby? Swimming. It is acting as a noun. So swimming is a gerund here. Okay. Similarly, when you say I don't like his crime, you are naming his habit. You don't like. You are not liking is the verb. So you don't like his habit. Habit का नाम है crime. यहाँ पे एक एक्टिविटी परफॉर्म हो रही है, उसका नाम है गोइंग आउट टू वर्क. ऑलराइट. Yes, so basically, okay. So Prem is asking that here in the case of it, when I say it is a great decision to adopt a dog, so here this is the noun. This is the noun. Okay. Now, it here is actually this concept is called a dummy subject. Okay, the real subject here is decision only. The real subject here is decision only. Okay, so it is not referring to anything in particular here. Okay, it's called a dummy subject. For instance, when I say it's hot today, it is hot today, right? Or it's hot today. So it here is not referring to anything specific. Okay, it is my great pleasure to invite you. It is my great pleasure to invite you. So here the subject is pleasure. The subject is pleasure. Okay, it is just acting as a dummy subject. Okay, so there the noun is mentioned clearly. Okay, and therefore there is no confusion. I hope this is clear. All right. Think about it. Coming to question 10. Let's see what you say. The last question for the day. All right. Question 10. Rishi says 2. Others. The error could be of any type here. Shailesh says 2. Tat says 2. Okay. Ashish also says 2. Sanil says 2. Okay, so I think all of you have so far said 2. Good, good, good. 2 is the answer here. And good. You could identify these errors. Yes, these are the errors. Government key agencies, its agencies, no apostrophe required. Okay, and persons attached to itself. Why do I need a reflexive or emphatic pronoun here? I don't. Attached to it. Okay, so it as its and it simple it it and not itself. Good, good, very good. That you could identify the errors and you know now in your heart what the correction for these errors is. So I hope these concepts are clear to you. Personal, we talked about personal pronouns, indefinite pronouns. We talked about various types of errors that can be there in a pronoun, right? A pronoun question. I hope you liked the session. If you did, please go and press the like button. And yes, do subscribe to our channel. Another important announcement, we are starting with a series called CAT 2022 Decoded, right? So this will be from 16th May to 30th May at 7 p.m. every day. Okay, so here you're going to have sessions with all of us, right? Some 4 will be strategy sessions, how to prepare. Okay, your exam is going to be in November, so what should your preparation strategy be? Then 4 DILR sessions, 5 quant sessions, and 2 VARC sessions. Okay, so I will see you right in those sessions, and these are all free. So anybody who is interested, in case you are interested, because see the syllabus at the end of the day is same. Okay, and CAT is an, of course, you know, it is an exam that will open a lot of doors for you, right? A lot of institutes accept CAT, right? So do attend these sessions. All right. A general question. How are the words power are, okay, how are they pronounced? Okay. So power has this hours, मतलब OWER वाला sound आता है, but it's a very muted sound. So power. Okay. R is simply R, right? Okay. Tower, again, that sound is there, just like power. Okay. So, but then again, it's a very muted sound. Okay. Welcome, welcome. So Nali, unfortunately, there is no one source from which you can get all these problems clarified. Trust me, I also got these clarified over the course of time. Okay, from a number of books and from experience. Right. So some of our queries can be such that even grammar books don't mention it. So in that case, you have to Google, you have to look at various sample sentences, and that's how you realize. Okay. But for your basic queries, Renan Martin is enough. Right. You know about this program of ours, you know about our batch, right? You can join this, and yes, do stay connected. You can actually join this Telegram group to do so. Okay, welcome, welcome all of you. I'll see you tomorrow again, right? No, tomorrow is Saturday, is it? Yes, so I will see you again. Okay, I'll see you again at 12 p.m. tomorrow. Bye.